Hello.
Hello, hello.
So today we're gonna talk about couple of couple of interesting articles. One, the most important one, which is the Fed meeting yesterday. Bitcoin declines as Fed projects interest rates to rise in 2023, which is kind of a let me not I'm not sure. I'm not sure how correct this is, since like during those hours I was like following Bitcoin price action, and as you can see, it really didn't just drop. It just dumped, pumped, dumped. It didn't really do exactly that. Like it dropped beforehand because
There's a
people
lot of
got.
there's a lot of indecision on this news right now, right? Like,
Yep,
and you can just see that in the charts by their people's reactions.
yep. And also there were a lot of people that had shorts beforehand because they expected that an interest rate rise in this eating this time, but it didn't happen. So they took other measures to taper, but they didn't increase the rates. So of course S&P dumped a little bit, went down like less than 1%. US 100 Nasdaq went down as well a little bit, but nothing major. It looks like Powell played it kind of to the T, and so the market didn't really have that big of a reaction, especially Bitcoin. Bitcoin pretty much like the announcement pumped, like dumped a little bit, pumped, and then just proceeded sideways. Today we have a little bit of upward price action, nothing really big, but we went up a little bit today, just a tiny bit from yesterday. So yeah, looks like they think that inflation is transitory. That's what they're saying. It's just due to basically shortages and transitory factors. What I really don't think that is the case, and probably also you agree with me on that. So
Yeah, it's just speech to keep the market calm, right? Like they want people saying inflation's transitory, that they're going to keep printing money, that everything's okay, so that way people keep buying, people don't panic sell and all that. So it seems like we're taking some actions in the direction of tapering, or at least to start tapering soon, without directly saying it. So that way the market just freaks out less, right? Because you kind of have to talk to the market like they're children. They're just too emotional.
yeah, yeah, we agree on that. We agree
Yeah.
on that. So also this article talks about elevated hedging costs. So it seems like everyone is still panicking, as usual, because we went down and we haven't had like our usual V-shaped recovery. So everyone is kind of panicked. Is Bitcoin gonna go down to zero this time or not? That's kind of the question. Where zero is like $20,000, and some people are predicting even below $20,000, even in the tens. So we have also hash rate declining, but this we already know really the reason for it, which is clearly the fact that miners are moving out of China, and then well, a quick altcoin rundown, and it looks like Solana Foundation has led a 3 million investment in blockchain data platform Parsec, which is kind of was a pretty odd project a couple of, maybe even more than a couple, maybe 5 to 6 months ago. A lot of people were talking about Parsec, uh, but yeah, and banks could one day be the key participants in Ethereum 2.0, according to firms including Blockdaemon. So nothing really, like, other than speculation and this interesting Solana Foundation, basically, that they invested in Parsec. There's really nothing like new in this article to eviscerate. Of course, we have regulatory people that are scared about regulation. We talked about the members of the U.S. House Representatives have formed a task force to discuss cryptocurrency and regulating it, and they're gonna soon start talking with experts as well. So at least they will learn exactly what crypto is, because right now it's kind of we are kind of in OT, in like not OT, but far away from knowing, and people that are talking about crypto knowing what it actually is. Most of them are just saying that it's used for illegal things, even though it's really not crypto. Like, that's just a side thing, and a small thing. Then we are going into World Bank rejects El Salvador request for Bitcoin help. So it looks like the World Bank is not happy about the move. It seems like this big institutions, the EMF, the World Bank, not happy about the fact that El Salvador decided to make Bitcoin legal tender. So they rejected basically the request from for help that El Salvador have made. And but I don't think that there's gonna be a problem with this. I think that the Bitcoin community is gonna be, gonna try to help as much as they can, especially since at the moment El Salvador is the only country that has Bitcoin as legal tender. So I think that the support from the Bitcoin community is gonna be sufficient, and they will not really need help from the World Bank. But at least they tried, right? They tried.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're their own country. They make their own laws. The World Bank can't come in and say, "Hey, you can't make Bitcoin legal tender." And yeah, I mean, we're looking at a country where 20% of their GDP comes from people working abroad and sending money home, right? Like they need something to shake things up. So and Bitcoin it seems like the play they're going for. So
and
I think they're
also
going to do okay.
They also have volcano energy that they were considering using for Bitcoin mining. So they have also that avenue. They're kind of trying to attract miners from the miners that are fleeing China. Maybe some of them are gonna move toward their country. It looks like they themselves, the actual country, is thinking about mining Bitcoin themselves and add them to their balance sheet. That's my understanding of it. But maybe potential other players will move to El Salvador to start mining Bitcoin since of the renewable energies that they have. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, they're a pretty socialist country, right? Like they're energy people. They're run by the government, right? The president of their energy company works for the government, right?
Yeah.
So if the government says, "Hey, let's start mining Bitcoin," they're going to do it.
Exactly. Panama to present crypto-related bill in July. So we also have this coming up. Another country is starting to consider Bitcoin and having Bitcoin as potentially. This is just, as we said, this is still potential, so we don't know, but it could become also legal tender in Panama. They also
right now it is the opposition party is the one proposing it.
Yep.
But they have had good relations with the ruling party in the past, so that shouldn't be a red flag or anything. So it's just, we'll see if they're able to work something out and if it could happen, right?
Yep. So interesting outcomes also from other countries. It looked like at the beginning that a lot of people were saying it's the first domino that is falling, but it looks like that they might be right. We have to see. It's not set in stone. When we get 2, it's much easier to get 3. When you have 1, it's a little harder to get the second, right? It takes time.
Unless the one's a massive success, but that's going to take a while before we're able to see that. So
exactly. But if we're able to get another one on board real quick, it's going to be definitely bullish for Bitcoin itself. And I think that the more countries are going to embrace Bitcoin and they're going to have it as a secondary currency, it doesn't have to be the main currency. It just has to be an option. That's going to lead towards more adoption, more people understanding crypto in general, more people figuring out all the different avenues that crypto brings. And just Bitcoin can be just the stepping stone, really, like the first little step into the right direction. Then we have an interesting article. Criminals are mailing altered ledger devices to steal cryptocurrency. So following the act that Ledger had, and all the customers' information, 272,000 people that purchased the ledger were basically leaked all their information. So what these scammers are trying to do is that they're sending them an actual like different ledger, and a modified one with like a written letter. Also, it looks like it's even signed manually, like actually signed. So it looks like they're trying to send these fake ledgers, so people move towards these fake ledgers with their funds, move their funds over, and since they're modified and they have an exploit in them, basically all your private keys and all your cryptos are gonna be stolen really quickly.
Pretty much, if you get a package that says it's from Ledger with a new ledger in it and some poorly written notes, just throw it out. It's not real. You'll lose your money.
Yep. And so this is bad press for Ledger. Unfortunately, after that attack, it's been pretty much downhill. Not a lot of people trust Ledger anymore because of that hack, and that's what created most of these new like Trezor and others, other wallet companies. So it's good to have more companies into the space. Ledger was really the standard at the beginning. Everyone trusted Ledger, but now that they had this breach, it's complicated. Especially there were people, I remember a couple of years ago, I think maybe even 3 years ago, there were people that were buying used ledgers and they were modified. But why would you buy a used hardware wallet? Like, the whole point of an hardware wallet is to be secure and to, So next article is GOP House campaign will begin accepting cryptocurrency donations. The first national party committee to do so. So it looks like the Republican Congressional Committee is gonna be accepting cryptocurrency donations. That's a pretty bold stance.
Right. Yeah. So we saw like a lot of big crypto names donated to the Democrats during the last election. And yeah, the Republican Party sees that and they want to attract some of that money too, right? So naturally saying, hey, if you just give us the cryptocurrency directly, you don't have to turn it into dollars and donate it, we'll take it. Lobbyists are going to look at that and say, well, we want positive laws for crypto. We want positive regulations. Let's get the GOP on our side. So yeah, this could be pretty good for crypto, I think. It means that they're kind of coming around, especially since a lot of the Democrats are now out there bashing Bitcoin and other crypto, having the Republicans kind of taking the opposite stance and saying, hey, like you could just donate crypto to us. We're pro crypto. We like crypto. I mean, it might be good, a little counterbalance to some of the rhetoric we've been seeing lately.
Let's hope that is the case, and it's gonna probably have ramifications in the next election, because we will have to see which party is gonna win and which one is gonna be mostly pro crypto, and that's gonna play a big role into the regulations. Because I think that at the moment it's like we are far away from getting like serious regulation, and I think the next term is gonna be the one that actually sets up the whole infrastructure with the all regulation, like regulatory procedures that you need to take care of to be able to be a crypto company, and for like crypto derivatives, crypto exchanges, crypto ETFs, all that type of stuff is gonna be regulated more strictly. There's gonna be like set rules that are gonna be like precisely aimed at crypto. So it's probably gonna be, it's not gonna be coming soon, it's gonna be coming later on, in my opinion. Personally, I think that they still have to learn a lot about what crypto is, and there's a lot of ignorance around. So we're gonna get into the charts. What's Bitcoin doing? Well, not a lot. We have been pretty much going sideways. Like, even if we dropped a little bit yesterday, we are still neighboring around the $39,000. It's like we are hanging on real tight above this previous high. We're trying to stay above it, and this is kind of a boring day for Bitcoin until we'll have some sort of volatility happening, either to the upside or to the downside. It's boring, nothing happening. Dominance is still pretty much flat. Nothing changed over there. Looks like we're seeing some small winners over into the altcoin space, but nothing major since dominance is still pretty much stagnating. We do have an interesting outcome after yesterday on the US 100, the Nasdaq. It looks like it's going up, and that's definitely bullish for crypto, definitely bullish for Bitcoin. So if we do see continued upwards price action on indexes and especially on tech, it should be bullish for Bitcoin overall. SPX on the not moving up that much, kind of still basically in the range of price action that we had yesterday after that big dump that was caused, I'm not sure by what exactly, since we didn't really have like that crazy of an announcement. In fact, we just slightly went down yesterday. We are kind of trading flat today, negative 0.01%, around 0%. We're not moving, pretty much. That's what's going on. Bitcoin, as we said, likely to retest $37,000 and see what happens there. The question is, if we hold here, there's a highly likelihood that if we hold here and then start to move up above $40,000, there's a highly likelihood that we're gonna attempt a breakout and try to break out of the range. Testing $37,000 shouldn't scare you as well, because it's definitely a strong level of support. You can also see that on the books. So it seems like we are kind of sideways, and no decision has been taken yet. Do we go back to $37,000? Do we go test another breakout? Because last time we tried, we failed, and we got rejected swiftly, and then we had this little move down. But nothing to really be concerned about or be interested about in crypto right now. Nothing is happening. I wouldn't open any trades right here in this range. If you want to open up like longer term trades, maybe start opening up either a long or a short based on your bias in this region can be beneficial. But it's really up to you. I wouldn't trade this type of small movement. Maybe on the short side it does make sense, but on the long side, really not a good time to be buying, in my opinion.
Yeah, wait until we either break out or we get closer to the bottom of the range, or at least the middle of the range, right? Even the middle of the range is a bit higher risk than I like, but it could work out. We do have strong support there now, and yeah, 37K seems to be a strong area. Maybe 36K if you get lucky, you might be able to get some bids down there. But yeah, the longer we stay in this region, the tighter we squeeze, the bigger the fucking move will likely be when we break out.
And the only interesting, really interesting mover at the moment that I've seen recently is MicroStrategy that has been on the up, and it looks like it's setting up for a continuation to the upside. But this is really down to what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin decides to tank, MicroStrategy is gonna tank. Just the chart of MicroStrategy looks much better than the one of Bitcoin, to me at least. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the day.
Yeah.
And I guess we're gonna talk to each other tomorrow, and we'll see what news is in the news tomorrow. All right. Bye.
Later.